me, Corey.
You've been a bad girl. Very, very bad. Bad girl, Elisa.
Are you sure you want to do this on Korean?
What do you mean, am I sure?
Well, you know what they say when you eat a donut. You gotta have milk.
You know, Elisa, you are right. We need milk. Donut and milk is like wearing cheap eyeshadow with good primer. You need to use both to make your eye look flawless.
But it still looks like a mess on some people when they look at their own reflection.
Hey, welcome to On Korean, and today Elisa of PurseBuzz and I are doing a collaboration inspired by the new Lady Gaga featuring Beyonce video, Telephone. And I'm doing the Beyonce look when she walked into the diner. It's the yellow, kind of retro looking look, love it, with a yellow cowboy hat. And I'm also going to show you guys how I did the matching nails. So keep watching.
And as always, we're going to begin by priming the eyelid, and I'm using a neutral color primer, but I'm only applying this to the upper lid area, actually to the base of the brow bone, the crease, and all the way up to the brow line. Now you can pretty much use any primer if you're choosing at this point. Now for this video, I'm going to use a yellow, kind of like pencil eyeshadow, and this is actually the Shenjim. It's a Taiwanese lipstick and eyeshadow. I'm going to use this as a primer for the main lid. And then I'm going to apply my first color, which is a canary yellow. Now you can use MAC Chrome. This one is from Inglot, which is their matte yellow. And I'm also applying this kind of like in a retro wing fashion towards the end, and just mainly covering the main lid. Next, using an orangey brown, and again this is from Inglot, but you can use any red base brown that you can find. I'm just going to apply this to the deeper crease, and then I'm going to blend and thin this upwards towards the brow bone. Now for this color, a little bit more of an orange would probably look great because that will definitely complement the yellow, but I wanted to stick to that kind of like a reddish brown look that Beyonce wore in the video. So just make sure to nicely shear that out. And we're going to add another color to this to give it a little dimension. Now this was just brown, it's just a little deeper brown, a little bit more chocolate color. And I'm just going to apply this to the deeper crease, so that way it'll give a little bit more dimension, and also a little bit more of a separation between the yellow and the orangey brown. And once again, using my blender brush, I'm just going to make sure that transitions nicely onto the reddish brown. Next, I'm going to use brown powder actually to fill in and shape my brows, and I'm doing this very, very lightly. Beyonce didn't wear a strong brow in the video, so I'm just going to fill and shape as needed. And then using Black Track gel liner, I'm just going to line the upper line. I'm going to do a retro flare and wing it out. It's going to be a dramatic wing out. Alright, again, the trick is to make sure that it's lined with the lower lash line. Alright. And then for the lower lash line, I'm just going to gently add a little bit of that reddish brown, just in the lash line. And I'm not going to create a smoky look. This is actually almost kind of like subtle. And then for the waterline, I'm using Teddy from MAC. And actually, I'm just using this as a primer. But for the liner, I'm actually going to use a gold powder. So pretty much any gold powder will work. Again, this is gold from Inglot. I'm just applying that to the waterline. Next, we're ready to curl the lashes. Now, if you prefer to wear false eyelashes, do so. And once again, when curling your lashes, make sure to crimp a few times, and it'll give you a better result in curling your lashes. And then finally, mascara. I'm using black mascara, and what you want to do is do 2 coats on the upper lashes, because we want a little drama to the upper lashes. But for the lower lash, you just want to apply a thin coat of mascara. And that completes the eye look. Now let's go on and move on to the nails. Now everybody's been requesting this nail video, so here it is. First, we're going to use a primary color. This is red, and it's going to be our base color. Now, I recommend doing 2 coats of red as your base color. And then we're going to move on to the white stripes, and I'm using an Art Deco, kind of like a nail art polish, and this is matte white, actually. And this is the first time I'm using this kind of brush, so just kind of bear with me here. But you just want to create stripes starting from corner to the other corner in kind of like a crescent shape, just like you see on the screen. Alright, and some nails will take 3 stripes, some probably just 2. So just kind of like decide on your own. And then our next color is like a navy blue. So I'm going to apply this in a kind of like a crescent shape right on the end tip of the nail, as you see on the screen. Alright, and then the hardest part really is the stars, but it's pretty easy. As long as you just kind of wiggle it and just, you know, kind of like make wispy star looking, it's going to register that they're stars. Pretty easy. And that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and make sure to watch Elise's version of Lady Gaga's look from the video by logging onto her channel at youtube.com/pursebuzz. See you guys later. Earlier today, 2 women raided the store, Dunkin' Donuts, where they stole 2,000 assorted different donuts and gallons of milk. And the police department is on top of their game today because they're really, really upset about this recent incident at their local Dunkin' Donut. Eyewitnesses also confirmed that 2 women fled the scene on a Vijay mobile. And reporting live, this is Corin for Encore TV.
We did it! We did it, Corinne. We got milk.
You promise we'll have chocolate milk next time?
I promise.